Hi everyone, it's so good to see you today. This is Michelle Merrix with Reclaim the Confident You. And today we're going to talk about, I guess first I should say, in our last episodes, we talked about exactly what I do. And I am a confidence and mindset expert, specialist, coach, what have you. And I work with women and we take to where we are in our lifeline. So what we do is I talk about the dash. The dash and the lifeline are the lifeline of our life. If I've lived this long of a life, let's say I'm in my 50s, I've lived this much, and I have this much of my lifeline left. So beginning of my time on earth to the end of my time on earth. And how you spend your life is very, very important. What we cannot change are anything emotional or out of our control that happens. Life situations are going to happen, and I call those life quakes. And everyone has them, and we experience them, and we want to think that life is going to go as smooth as possible. But life situations and life quakes happen in our life. And then the question becomes, how do I spend the rest of my life living my happiest life that I can possibly be? So this is how, when we started this series on the talk show, of what it is that we look at. So for instance, I have my client always look at the lifeline. We write out the lifeline, and the lifeline will tell you a lot of answers to things that you have felt less confident about in life. There has been something that has happened. It's been some kind of a loss, some kind of a change, something that's happened. Is it a life quake where if you're looking of an earthquake coming and you see the big, on the Richter scale, you see the big, motions up and forth, the graph that shows big activity? Or are we having a tremor in our life? What is it that's happening? And you can look back and see every single time that something knocked you emotionally down. Something made you feel maybe not as confident about yourself, some type of loss, etc. Anything in life that happens. So we talked about that in the beginning of this talk series. We talked about confidence and the 3 C's of your confidence. And in order for you to become a more confident woman, again, it's loss. It's relationship loss, the death of someone who's been close to you. It could be your job loss. Anything that happens in life, in order to return and reclaim that confidence so you feel the best about yourself, you have to have a good mindset. And you have to be very, very mindful of who you are, how you think, how you feel. Oops, sorry, I might be hitting this. How you feel. And that will then change the situation the more that you can be mindful about something. So on the screen, we're going to show a screen of sorts. We're going to show a paper that will show you, or a chart that shows you. So as we talk about this is called the mindset method. And what I want to do is explain to you, and so you can clearly see about your mindset and about the situation of a mindset. So at the top, you'll see that it says the mindset method. And I have this for me as well. So your thoughts that you have about any and every situation become an emotion. So let's say someone embarrassed you. What's that going to do to your emotions? So a thought is, it's a sentence in your head about the situation. And I'll explain this to you, but it's about, we have a situation, and the situation is a fact. And then we have a thought about the situation that we're in that's happening. And that thought, it's a sentence in your head of how you feel. Then you have the thought creates an emotion. That emotion could be that you're angry. That emotion could be that you're mad. The emotion could be that something made you very sad. Something embarrassed you. You can feel that inside. It's an energy inside of your body which creates or is called an emotion. That emotion causes you an action in your life. You will make some kind of action based off of that emotion that you're feeling. And then when you take action, what you have is the result of the entire situations. Thoughts create results, and that result is actually a consequence. It's either a positive consequence or a negative. It's either good or bad. So think of all different situations that you've been in your life, how you've taken care of it. A lot of times we'll think back, okay, I would have done that differently. Or you can think back, I handled that really well. So when that happens, I'm going to go through this again. You'll see the mindset method. The mindset method is we have a situation. A situation is a fact. A fact, for instance, is I'm 5'6". I drive a black car. I'm in this studio right now with you. That's a fact. A fact of a situation is something has happened in your life. It's a fact. You cannot unchange it. You cannot control it, and you cannot control other people. The faster you learn in your life that you cannot control other people, the easier that your life will be to understand and understand others. Other people don't think like you think or I think. So you have to just be a bit more open-minded. So let's take an example of the sheet that we have that's listed up here for you, this PowerPoint that we have that's listed for you. So this is the mindset method. And the situation will say, I had a home renovation done. A client has had a home renovation done. She's so excited over this home renovation. She's designed it, she's planned it, she feels so good about it. Let's say you've had a home renovation. This can be so exciting because we're adding to our home, and our home is our safe place, and it's our palace. That's where that came from. My home is my palace. So you're excited about this. This is a cost of money for you, and you really put your energy into a home renovation. So the situation is I've hired contracting to come in and create my home the way I want it. And as we design it, this situation is we're renovating the home, our house, and I'm excited about this situation. It will be done in so many months, and it will be a whole change. And this change is going to make me so happy. So as that happens, this is our thought about the situation, and our emotion is we are incredibly excited over our home renovation. The action we've taken is we interviewed a few contractors, we designed our home. That was the action that we've taken. And then the result is going to be that action, and your thought is it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be exactly what I want and what I've had in my mind for the last 5 years. So what's happened with this client is everything is going smoothly, contractors come in, and then designs start to happen that don't quite fit what was in my thought to begin with. So the question is, okay, you created all of this, you built me a fireplace. It's not the brick that we planned it on that fireplace being, it's a little bit different. So now the fireplace is not quite what we wanted. My thought is, I really don't know that I like this, but it's already done. And in my design, I guess I wasn't as specific as I should be, because in truth, I'm not experienced in renovation of a home and designing and contracting, and I really didn't know I had to be that detailed. So you can think about a thought of the home renovation being different than what you thought in your mind, and now it's not what you quite planned. And as this goes on, you're realizing, oh goodness, I needed to be more detailed about that. You can handle this in two situations. One, you can get angry. You can get angry because what you had in your mind is not what you wanted, and this contractor is not creating the exact home that I want. And this can blow up, and that can be the emotion is I'm angry, and then the action is he and I are really going to go around, or this contractor and I are really going to go around about what was not done the exact way that I wanted. So what's that going to result in? It's probably not going to be a good relationship with the contractor that you have hired, and it would be known as a negative, or it would be known as, okay, this has kind of turned out bad. Am I hiring another contractor? What am I going to do? Or we can look at it in the thought process of this. Okay, let's be very mindful of what has happened. I've thought about this and I've realized, okay, I'm not as experienced in renovation, contracting, etc. And I really did not communicate, I guess, exactly what I wanted the way that it needed to be. And maybe the contractor was thinking to himself, okay, the picture in my mind was a picture different in your mind. The glorious part about it is you can stop and think, you know, my house is still being renovated. It's not that I really don't like the fireplace. Actually, it's quite beautiful. It just wasn't the way I looked at it. So my emotion then softens and my emotion then changes. So my emotion is, okay, I don't want to feel like I've settled, but what I want to do is feel like I'm still getting something that I love because I want to feel good about my home and where I'm at. So what is my action about this situation that things are turning out a little different than what I planned? The action is you need to call the contractor, or you do, and she did, call the contractor and say, we need to sit down and talk, go over my designs, and let's talk about what is happening with the home and how things look. Then what happens is the contractor is saying, well, I didn't see it that way. You know, you didn't explain it to me that way. And she says, well, I didn't know I had to explain it that way. And everybody learns a big lesson. And then the action created a result. And the result is, you know, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because this is really beautiful what's been created. And now I know going forward in the rest of the contracting and designing about the renovation of my home, I now know more details about what I have to do. So no, I don't want the fireplace torn apart. I am fine with the fireplace, and now I'm thinking of how I'm going to decorate the fireplace for the holidays. So it depends how things happen in your life. This would be considered a life tremor. It's a big deal to you, for sure. Is it a life quake where we've lost someone, we've lost a relationship, etc.? We know what the difference is. But this is a situation that has come aboard that you will always look back in your lifeline and know, when I renovated my home, remember the situation, this is how it happened. Now, at the end of this renovation, this could be the most beautiful renovation that you're so excited about and that you absolutely love, and the result was what you wanted to begin with. So this is something that's very simple. It's not picking something big that's extremely emotional or the loss of a parent, etc. But it is a life tremor that's happening because a home renovation is a big deal. And it's a big deal, especially for a female. And when she can have the consciousness and the mindfulness to say, how am I going to handle this situation? It's showing that she's a confident woman, because how she handled the situation was, I'm calling the contractor. I'm not going to sit and stew about it and let him continue doing what I don't want, but we are going to have a discussion, and this way I am in control of my home and how my renovating is going. So I hope that makes a lot of sense for you. I did want to talk about the mindset, as we've talked about the dash or your lifeline, situations in life that come up. We want to talk about how we get to confidence, and that is through mindset. And this is just a wonderful example to explain to you how we're going to get into more detail about that as well. So I leave you with that today. I thank you. I hope that your confidence is beaming, and I look so forward to when we speak again. And you can actually see on the screen, we're going to show how you can reach me or get a hold of me to talk about things that have happened in your life. So as you'll see, it'll come up. You can reach me via email. You can reach me on my website. It is under construction for about 2 more weeks, as some things are changing up for the better. And but reach me on Facebook as well. You can just reach out to Michelle Merrix on Facebook, and you can call me at 330-801-3040. We can talk about your confident life, reclaiming who you are, moving on in life, and feeling really good. Thank you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and thank you to WCTV. Have a great day.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.